Before the military operation, the equation was that Hamas targets Israelis whenever it likes, and Israel shows restraint. This is something that stopped in a day in which we initiated the military operation. This is not going to be no longer the equation in this region. When Israel is being targeted, Israel is going to retaliate. The entire Arab world and the Muslim population. We all have the same interest. We live, those who believe in peace, those who want to live in this region in peace, those who believe in the implementation of two states for two peoples as the outcome and the solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Those who want to live in peace need to meet the challenge of terror and extremism.
I would adapt this, but I don't want to use the word punishment, because what we are doing as a government is not to punish anybody, but to give hope for our citizens to live in peace. If I had known that this can be stopped in a different manner, this is what we would have done, and this is the reason why Israel accepted a truce that was initiated by Egypt a few months ago, but it was violated by Hamas, so there is no other option right now but to use military force. Israel targets only military targets and places in which we know that Hamas members are or stay, and headquarters of Hamas. Unfortunately, during this kind of raids and attack, there are some civil casualties. But Israel took all the necessary steps in order to warn the civilians before the attacks, to leave the places in which they know that Hamas stays, but in a war like in a war. But according to our values and according to our policy and strategy, we are trying to avoid any kind of civil casualties or to minimize civil casualties during these attacks, even though, as you can imagine, it's impossible to avoid it completely. Israel expects the support and the understanding of the international community. The international community understands that Hamas is an extreme Islamist organization that spread its hatred in the entire region, which is being supported by Iran. And the international community needs to understand that this is the translation of the right of Israel to defend itself, that there is no other alternative, and we are doing what we need to do in order to defend our citizens.